Hey guys, welcome back to the channel with another video. I always hate the awkward intros because I'm literally like staring at the camera for like 5 minutes, figuring out what like the first few sentences I'm gonna say, but once I actually do get started, it's actually quite easy. But anyway, I digress. I apologize ahead of time if this is gonna be somewhat of a long video. I could possibly foresee this being somewhat of a long video. I'll try my best to keep it short and sweet, but as you can tell by the title, this is somewhat of a celebratory video celebrating 200 subscribers. Now, probably at this point, some of y'all are probably chuckling to yourselves, like 200 subscribers, like what the fuck? But I'll get to that in a second. But I figured it was appropriate anyway to kind of do a video like this because I eventually made the plan to do it at the minute that the channel hit 200 subscribers. Mainly because, you know, while some YouTubers always talk about, you know, milestones as far as their channels and their growth, you know, there's like the typical, you know, milestones where, you know, like there's 1,000 subs, then 10,000 subs, and 50,000 subs, and 100,000 subs. I have several reasons for why I'm making kind of a video upon the 200 subscriber count, but anyways, I was kind of like noticing as far as when I noticed what some YouTubers do and when I got some advice from other YouTubers, you know, when they make a particular video that concerns like a celebratory type of thing for like marking like, you know, 10,000 subs or something, you know, they do it also as kind of like a channel update. And that's kind of one reason why I'm making this video, is just kind of give like a state of the channel type of address to y'all, if that makes any sense, but also just to kind of the bigger, deeper meaning as to why I'm doing a 200th subscriber celebration video of sorts. First of all, 200 subscribers, I know that's nothing to laugh at. You know, it's nothing in the grand scheme as far as what people are capable of achieving on a platform like YouTube. You know, I totally understand. 200 subscribers is virtually nothing. But it is important to me because it's a sign of at least somewhat of the work that I am putting into this channel. And, you know, it shows for very little work that I actually do on the channel. It does show by way of subscribers, you know, because when I was approaching the 190 subscriber point, you know, I was like, okay, I'm going to get ready to start making my 200 subscriber video. But then, you know, when the span of like 48 hours, it went over 200 all of a sudden. I'm like, whoa, what the hell? You know, it kind of happened out of nowhere. So I'm obviously very grateful for that. But this is kind of like, and I kind of iterated this in one of my past videos, but this is kind of meant to be kind of like, you know, somewhat of a pep talk or kind of like an inspirational type of thing, especially for budding YouTubers. You know, with how much work you can put into YouTube, everyone and their mother knows how hard YouTube is capable of being, you know, how much time it takes, especially on top of any other stuff you do. With someone like me, where I have a full-time career and a personal life outside of this channel, it's hard to make videos, especially on a timely manner. And I know it's not a good excuse, and I always know I have the time to do it, but as far as like the time and effort it requires and my inspiration and motivation to make a video, it's almost always there, but I get jumbled all the time with like certain ideas or concepts that I want to put on this channel, which going more now into kind of addressing doing the state of the channel type of thing that this video is going to be. Most of y'all kind of know that this channel itself, in and of itself, does not really have a niche. You know, it doesn't have a particular crowd that follows this channel, and many people would probably consider that like a bad move, you know, especially if you're trying to like grow a channel, you know, because if you make it so broad and you talk about so many different topics, you feel like you're not going to be able to reach any kind of audience. And, you know, I never really ever saw YouTube that way, which this is mainly explaining like why my video playlist looks the way it does, where it's so scatterbrained. You know, I have like an entire playlist devoted to reading books, one to review movies, one about engineering, one about LGBT stuff. You know, it's all kind of all over the place. And that's just really how I kind of see YouTube. I talk about stuff that I think is important and matters, and to an extent what I think people want to see. You know, and if there is eventually going to come a time where more of a niche crowd is going to come across my channel, which anyone of y'all who do any kind of like looking around deeper searching on my channel will probably find out that my most viewed video concerns engineering, but yet I have a significant amount of subscribers who don't care about any of that. It's just more about what else they can see on this channel. And I honestly have thought about taking the direction of making this something like along the lines of like an engineering channel. I've thought about it, but the thing about it is there's only so much I could talk about. And while I do plan to sometimes make an engineering video here or there, it's going to be it's not going to be the main focus of this channel, because as far as my interest in life and just the things I think are interesting and whatever, there's just so many things I can talk about. And YouTube, it kind of sucks the way the status of YouTube is, because the viewership follows what is hot and relevant at that time. So that's kind of one reason why I do certain things, like why if I am capable of like doing things like a movie review, especially if I saw it on the premiere or within a 24 or 48 hour period after it premiered, I'll see if I have time. I'll try to make like a movie review if I can. But a lot of times that never happens. I honestly don't go to the theaters that much. I honestly should, but I unfortunately don't. And when I'm at places like work, if there's like downtime at work, I can research particular topics and articles that I find appealing or interesting, and I may or may not talk about it or feel like it's something viable to make a video about. And there's so many things that I have backlogged into my head here, as far as concepts and ideas that I feel like talking about. It's just all over the place. There's so much potential there, and so many ideas that I have, so many ideas that I've had since the beginning of this channel, really. So I can try to share with y'all some of those ideas. Just kind of a brief tangent here. My most viewed video is, I'll just tell y'all right up front. The title of it is called "Should I Be an Engineer?" And that alone is just, kind of heavy clickbait, because particularly during certain times of the year, especially coming towards the end of summer or something, people are generally interested in that particular search term. There are like young people, coming out of high school, or people going through their quarter life crisis in college, and they're like wondering like, should I be an engineer? And they'll literally will type that question into Google and see what comes up. And I've been fortunate enough that my video is somewhat ranked on that particular search term. If you type in that particular search term, there's a good chance that video will show up. And I've kind of felt like, while I'm very appreciative of what all that one video has done and what it's all led to, I have this innate fear that that's all this channel is going to be known for. It's just that one particular topic, and if anyone's any remotely viably interested in anything else I have to say, they'll click on maybe one or two other videos, and that's it. It only does so much of a trickle-down effect, that one video. So when I was going through that and brainstorming ideas, I thought about, well, why can't I apply that to certain other career fields? So I thought about doing like a "Should I" series, where I basically see if I can. The concept revolves around like interviewing particular people of certain career fields, like say, like maybe a cosmetologist. And the next title of the video would be, "Should I be a cosmetologist?" And in a very informal manner, I'll get like a close friend who happens to work in that industry and have them talk about it, and talk about the actual realities of what it's like to either train for it or actually to work in that field. So I've thought about that idea as making it as like an individual type of playlist and type of series that I plan to follow. So that's something I've thought about. And other particular topics that fall within lines of my other playlist, book reviews, movie reviews, I think I'll always will continue to do those as long as the channel exists. As long as I can find time to fit them in, I'll see if I can do them, because I obviously, have plenty of stuff to talk about as far as books are concerned, movies to a different extent, but, definitely there's a lot of stuff to talk about there. If any of y'all obviously haven't figured it out by now, yes, I'm obviously gay. So you can probably tell that by like all the LGBT videos that I've made, and just by my tongue-in-cheek type of stuff that I've talked about. While I, in a sense, don't intend to make this like a typical gay-themed channel, you know, if it goes that direction, you know, whatever, but you have like certain other YouTube personalities on YouTube, people like Davey Wavy and Jack Maridu, and while they do very good, excellent work and produce excellent content as far as they're concerned, they are innately labeled as, you know, like that channel with that gay guy, you know, and while I respect them as YouTubers, the stuff I have to say as far as the content I'd create, I don't want to necessarily be seen as that, you know. While I want people to be interested in things I do have to say, I don't want to feel like I have to fall into that trap, you know. And the same thing goes with engineering or any other various topics I talk about. Like, I don't want to necessarily be a movie review channel or a book review channel. There's only so much of a demographic that's going to cover, and I have so many things to talk about, and I want all different types of people to come to my channel, obviously, you know. That's just kind of a big goal I have in mind. As far as just having a very versatile channel. And while it will take a lot of work, you know, it's something I'm willing to push through and do. And honestly, with how small the channel is, you know, I am not along the lines of like those typical platinum 100,000 subscriber channels where I have like a staff working for me. I obviously don't. I do all of this by myself on my own free time. And while I do enjoy it a lot, and especially when I like to see the rewards like this, when the rewards with, you know, 200 subscribers pays off, it's definitely worth it. But, you know, it's the occasional times of like staying up late on a work day and getting like 4 hours of sleep and losing personal time for my boyfriend. You know, sometimes it's hard, but, you know, I do it for you guys, obviously. And obviously the work pays off. And this also concerns like the scheduling of uploads. Everyone and their mother talks about how important it is to have a regular scheduled upload time, to make sure, like, if you pick a day out of the week, let's say it's Tuesday, make sure you upload a video every Tuesday. And while that's admirable, you know, it's something I can try to do in the future, especially if this channel really takes off. For my own good grace, I can only do it when it's convenient, and, you know, and it's just a matter of doing it more frequently, you know, rather than once a month, like what I've been doing basically for the last year or so. A video a month is not going to do. I get that. But the best I can do is maybe 2 videos a month, you know, or maybe even 3. But definitely setting a schedule. From what I've heard and what I've talked about as far as upload schedules, it's kind of varied. But like one piece of advice that I always take to heart when it comes to upload schedules comes from a channel, a very famous channel here on YouTube. It's a guy known as CGP Grey. And he makes like a bunch of scientific and educational type of videos, and he has no upload schedule. None at all. He'll upload a video whenever he can. And then he's kind of like me. I think he lives and works in London, England, and he's like a public school teacher. But he does that on top of making YouTube videos. And obviously when it comes to certain things, his career and his personal life has to come first. You know, and while YouTube and stuff is very rewarding for him, he doesn't allow it to detract from his time. And, you know, I do want to take this channel seriously, obviously, but unless I get to that level where I'm, you know, where I'm uploading a video and it's getting like, you know, 3 to 5 million views a video, where I could basically quit my job and do this full time, you know, I'll definitely be sure to do like an upload schedule. But in the meantime, while I'm sitting at, you know, 200 subscribers, I don't see that really happening anytime soon. It's just a matter of making videos and trying to do it as more frequently as I possibly can. And that's basically all that it comes down to. And while, you know, I've discussed my ideas, I've discussed my certain thoughts about what it takes as far as where the direction this channel needs to go, I'm very obviously pleased where it's come in a very short amount of time. Obviously, it was kind of a slow boil, and to an extent, it's still slow boiling. I think it's just one of those things, even if I did become super successful at YouTube, you know, if I got, you know, 10,000 subscribers or 20,000 subscribers within the next year, I don't know if I would be that kind of person where I would see myself as being content with the numbers all the time, because that's just kind of like the paradox about YouTube. You're never really content with the numbers. You just gotta be content with the content you're creating, and then when people see it, it's just the cherry on top. And it's something I've mentioned in one of my previous videos as well. And while I'm not trying to make this whole thing about me, which I obviously am because I'm kind of giving an update about my whole channel, obviously, but I have to stress this last point, and the secondary point of this whole video is, if there's other YouTubers out there who are looking to try and start a channel and looking to try and get some type of audience behind your back and get some type of subscriber base, the chances of it happening like some people who find success, they start doing YouTube within the first year and they somehow get 10,000 subscribers within the first year. The statistical possibility of that ever happening is kind of low. And even after you upload maybe 5 videos, 10 videos, 20 videos, and you're still not getting an audience behind your back, as hard as it is, you should not get discouraged from that. And I've seen people who start on YouTube, think it's going to be an excellent journey for them to take, but then they upload like 3 videos and they're disappointed when they only get like 100 total views between the 3 of them. Obviously, there's kind of a science behind YouTube as far as figuring out the algorithms and learning how Google itself works with its search engine, which takes a bit of skill itself. But don't let that deter you from trying to pursue something like YouTube. Even because, especially with as amateur as I am with YouTube, I had to realize I had to be doing it for fun. This is obviously not something I'm making a killing in financially for certain, and it's not something, the rewards for the work I put in are minimalistic, pennies to the dollar. It's such a huge investment, but it's still worth it in my opinion, especially if you have a passion for this kind of stuff and just if you're the kind of person who likes your voice to be heard. And that's kind of the lasting message I have to say. Just kind of giving y'all an update about the channel, some ideas I have. Obviously, if y'all have any input for ideas, please let me know, and message or comments or whatever you want to do as far as contacting me as many as ideas or any certain topics you think I should stick with or whatever is on y'all's mind. I'm obviously open to any and all ideas, but also the next point is just to kind of the point of celebrating a 200 subscriber video. All milestones are important, no matter how small they are. And that's just kind of the last point I want to make is why celebrate 200 subscribers? Because why not? It's something I can be happy for despite how small it is. So that's pretty much it, guys. And obviously I hope to, besides this video, have another few videos upload here real soon. I've got several ideas in my head, so please stay tuned for more, and let's make it to 300 subscribers now, if we can. And well, I'm sure we can, but let's make that the next goal, okay? Thanks.